welcome to Medicine for the Soul Yoga. My name's Kat, and today we have part 8 of our Journey to Crow series, and we're going to be working on the core today. So let's get going. So we're going to do a short and sweet little flow today, focusing on the core. So really building up strength in the core, visiting the plank and the side plank as well to also work into the shoulders. And we're going to start seated today, drawing the knees into the chest, releasing the head onto the mat to relax the shoulders. And we'll have the hands drawing over the kneecaps, so the fingers pointing down over the legs. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. And we'll just flow with the breath for a moment. As we inhale into the tummy, feel the tummy pushing the thighs away. Feel the lower back rolling onto the mat, straightening the arms, and just let the legs hang in the hands. Take a big inhale here. And as we exhale, drawing the knees towards the chest, feel that let all the air out of the nose. Inhale, pushing the thighs away with the tummy. Exhale, drawing the thighs in towards the tummy. Exhaling all the air out. One more time. Inhale fully through the nose. And exhale, drawing the knees into the chest. Good. This time we'll wrap the arms around the legs. Draw the chin up to the knees. Point the toes, give yourself a little rock side to side, squeezing everything in. Good, and then we'll place the head back on the mat. Release the legs, keeping the legs really active and the toes pointed. We're going to draw the knees over the hips. Begin to activate the core here. And just notice whether the lower back has lifted off the mat. If it has, bring the knees slightly closer to the body to make it easier. And we want the knees ideally to be over the hips, really pushing the lower back into the mat here. Breathing deeply. We're going to place the hands behind the head and just let the weight of the head rest in the hands. As much as we can, trying to roll ourselves up and lift the shoulder blades off the mat. Keep the legs the same. Squeezing the core, might be shaking here. Lower back really pressing into the mat. We're going to try and squeeze a tiny bit higher. Focus on the breath in and out through the nose. And exhale, release. Let the legs come into the chest. Maybe let the knees sway side to side. Making circles with the knees here as well feels quite good. And then we'll just come back to center. Again, making sure the knees are over the hips, the whole of the lower back. You couldn't be able to get your hand underneath there in contact with the mat. Lifting the feet up so they're parallel to the knees. Squeezing up the chest. Lift the shoulder blades up. Wrap the elbows in. This time we're going to bring the right elbow to the left knee and lengthen the right leg. Hover it above the mat. Inhale, squeeze up to center. Exhale, we'll move to the left. Try and keep the shoulder blades off the mat. Inhale, squeeze the core back to center. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, squeeze up to center. Keep the shoulder blades lifting. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back to center. We're going to go one more time. You can do it. Exhale to the left. Inhale, squeezing up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, squeezing up. One more big inhale. Lift up the elbows. And then exhale, release the head. Good. Place the hands back over the kneecaps and just let the legs go floppy, held by the hands here. Take a few deep breaths here. Right down into the tummy. And then we'll let the feet float and melt onto the mat. And we'll just let the knees sway side to side. Really letting the hips dip upwards and over to the side. So we're feeling that lovely lengthening and stretching of the core as we move side to side in this twist. Good. And then we'll just find stillness in the center. Again, we're going to draw the knees up, this time placing the hands over the knees with the fingers pointing inwards. And we're going to do a few rock and rolls here on the spine. So we're going to bring the feet back and bring it forward. So we're really squeezing everything in. The momentum of the feet brings the upper body up. Keep the chin tucked into the chest. Good. Next time we roll forward, we're going to hold ourselves up. If you wobbled, then try again. It's a bit of muscle memory here, your body remembering each time where to kind of, how much momentum to have to be able to pause. And we'll go again. And this time holding in our boat pose. Similar to how we were on the mat, we want the feet to be level with the knees. This time palms facing out, elbows slightly hugging in, chest is open. We're looking up. And similar to what we did before, we're going to slightly twist to the left and let the right leg hover along the mat. Inhale, lift up to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale up to center, keep the legs lifted. Exhale to the left, keep breathing. Inhale, center, one more time. Exhale to the right. Good, inhale, so we're working with the hips as well. One more big inhale. Exhale, drop the feet, wrap the arms around the legs. Lean back into the legs, draw the chin down. Just take a moment here, focus on the breath. Big deep breath through the nose. Lifting the chin, we're going to do another few rock and rolls. So just rolling normally to begin with. And on our third roll, we're going to come back up and land in our boat pose. So really with control. If you want to test yourself, try and do it without your arms. So maybe go back again. Arms are to the side. And we're not holding onto the legs. So play around. Test yourself. Squeeze in the core, find that control, find that balance point. Good. Option to stay here or option to straighten the legs. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep breathing. In and out through the nose. And we're going to do the twists again. You can keep the legs bent or have the legs straight. Exhale, gently twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Good. Exhale to the left. Inhale, use your breath. Last time. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Bring the legs down. Wrap the arms around the legs. Good. Just let yourself kind of wobble and sway side to side. And then we'll just gently roll onto the back. Again, how we started. Draw the head down. Draw the knees into the chest. So we're going to do one more really core focused exercise on our backs before we come up and play around with a bit of the shoulders. So we're going to place the hands either side of the body, palms facing down, lift up the feet. So we want the legs to be straight. Again, there's no gap in between the mat. So your lower back is really pressing into the ground. We can keep the legs bent like this, or we can have the legs straight. So the legs bent is a bit easier. And we're going to lower the legs down, hovering above the mat, squeeze in the core, and inhale, lift up. If you find the lower back arches up and you feel pain in the lower back, then bend the legs and just tap the toes with the legs bent and the knees coming over the hips and down. So we're hinging from the hips. If you can have the legs straight, then go for that. But the lower back needs to stay in contact with the mat. As we exhale, we lower the feet down. As we inhale, squeeze up. We're going to do 5 more. Use your breath to help you. It's a really amazing one for the core. Bend the legs if you need to. Going to do 2 more. 1 more. Good. Coming all the way up, squeezing the legs in. Good. Rock side to side. Make big circles with the knees. Take a few deep breaths here through the nose. Good. And we're going to rock forward, cross the legs, plant the hands, and then hop back into our plank. Shuffle back a little bit like me if you're a little bit off the mat. And we're going to hold in our plank here. Squeeze in the core, shoulders over wrists. And we're going to hold here for 30 seconds to begin with. Lifting the kneecaps, engaging the core, breathing deeply through the nose. And the shoulders over the wrists, so the fingers spread. So the belly button pulling in towards the spine. Good. We're going to drop the heels to the left. We're going to bring the right foot in halfway, toes pointing the long edge of the mat, and we're going to inhale, sweep the right hand up. Really push out of this left shoulder. So we're reaching up with that right hand, supported side plank. Option to stay here, or option to perhaps bring the right foot stacking over the left. And we'll hold here for 20 seconds. Focus on the breath. Pushing out of that left shoulder, lifting the hips. If you can, looking up at the right hand. Big deep breath through the nose. 3 more seconds. Good. Come back to normal plank. We're really working into the shoulders. Stay with me. 10 seconds in normal plank before we do the other side. Good. So we're going to drop the heels to the right. Bring the left foot forward. And then inhale, sweep the left hand up. Make sure you're not collapsing in that right shoulder. Lift up the hips. Option to stay here or option to stack the left foot over the right. Focus on the breath, in and out through the nose. Three more seconds. And release. Good. Come back to normal plank. Drop the knees. Push back to our child's pose. Rest the forehead on the mat. Let the shoulders release. We'll bring one arm to the side and then the other. Palms are facing up. Feel the shoulders melting away from the body. Big deep breaths through the nose. Good, and then we'll place the hands underneath the shoulders and peel our forehead up, coming to sit on the shins, big shoulder roll. So we're going to try out a bit of crow pose, so we'll just warm up the wrists as always. So we've really activated the core through those core exercises, and we've kind of activated the shoulders as well, which is good because we need the core and the shoulders to be really working for us in our core. So hopefully this should be quite a strong crow. Any wrist movements that you feel you need. And to begin with, we'll just open out the hips slightly. So we'll come into low yogi squat. Just let ourselves sway side to side. Big deep breath through the nose. Good. Sinking the hips. And we'll come into our crow pose. So again, making sure the fingers are always super spread on the mat, almost gripping onto the mat. Maybe heel toeing the feet slightly inwards, lifting the heels, lifting the hips. Really tuck the heels up. That will help you lift the knees, drawing the knees in and hug the elbows in. Reaching forward, lift the hips, squeeze the elbows, lift, lift, lift. Think about lifting. Can maybe bring one toe slightly into center, then the other toe. This will help you take the weight off the legs. So we're balancing on our big toes, we're focusing on the breath. Maybe we can lift one, maybe we can lift the other. You know where you're at on your journey. So playing around with either toe tapping or maybe floating one toe and tapping the other. Are you using the fingertips? Are you using the core? Are you breathing? Resting when you need to. Walk the hands forward, draw the chin down, give yourself a nice release. Big deep breaths. And drawing the hands back. Now, I normally don't wear long sleeve tops, but I've just been reminded of how much more difficult it actually is with a long sleeve top on for your knees to grip. So I do invite you, if you are wearing a long sleeve top, to go sleeveless and see what a difference that makes to help your knees grip. If your knees are sliding and you're having to try and go against that, it's going to be a lot harder for you. So that could be another little tool to make this easier for you. Leaning forward, we're going to have another little play if you would like. First step is having the feet lifted, second step is drawing the toes together. And when you're done, we can just come into our tabletop. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, arching. Good, we'll just walk the knees back. Let the hips drop down, bending into the elbows and just stretching out the core here. Gently move and look over one side and then the other. So we're really stretching out the core. Good, and then pushing back. We'll open the knees out wide and stretch out the hips. Let the knees really come quite wide into our wide leg child's pose, sinking the chest down, reaching the fingertips forward. Big deep breath through the nose. Right down into the tummy. Just having a moment of gratitude here for where you're at on your journey and all the little improvements that you're making every time you commit to yourself and to your practice. I invite you to stay here for longer. We can take a proper Shavasana lying down. Thank you.